I stared at my phone, reading Marcus's text for the third time. My vision was getting blurry around the edges, and the pain in my lower right abdomen felt like someone was stabbing me with a hot poker. Can you call an Uber? I'm at Skyline with Jessica celebrating her promotion. This is huge for her career, I can't just bail. I typed back with shaking fingers, okay. The ballroom spun slightly. 200 guests in evening wear, crystal chandeliers, 5 months of planning, and my appendix had chosen tonight the Anderson Corporation's annual gala to rupture. Ma'am? My assistant Keiko touched my elbow. You're gray. I'm calling 911. I didn't argue. That was 6 hours ago. Now I was lying in a recovery room at Street. Catherine's, missing my spleen wasn't the issue but my appendix had been. And my sister Emma was pacing like a caged tiger while scroll reading through my phone. I'm going to kill him, Emma said. She's a divorce attorney. She means things literally sometimes. No. Sarah, listen to me. Your appendix ruptured. You could have died. You texted him from the ambulance, and he chose cocktails with Jessica. She said Jessica's name like it was poison. I closed my eyes. The morphine made everything soft-edged, but the truth still had teeth. Marcus had been mentoring Jessica for 3 months. She was going through a divorce, he'd explained. She needed a friend who understood corporate culture. Someone to grab lunch with. Coffee. After-work drinks. She's like a little sister, he'd said last week when I'd asked why he was texting her at 11 p.m. Jessica was 29, blonde, and had never once looked at me like I was someone's sister. The gala, I mumbled. Did it? It was perfect. Keiko had texted Emma updates. Congressman Bailey gave a 20-minute speech. The auction raised $340,000. Your CEO told everyone you were dedicated to the point of self-sacrifice. Emma's voice dripped acid. He doesn't know how right he is. My phone buzzed. Marcus, how are you? Still at the hospital? Emma snatched it. Don't. You're not responding until you're thinking clearly. I am thinking clearly. No, you're on morphine and in shock. Tomorrow, when you're not high, we'll decide what to do about your husband choosing another woman over your literal internal organs exploding. She had a point. The surgeon came by at midnight. Dr. Patel was 50-something with kind eyes and zero tolerance for nonsense. You're lucky, she said. Another hour and we'd be talking sepsis. Who drove you? Ambulance. Family here? My sister. Husband? The pause said everything. Dr. Patel nodded slowly. I see. Well, you'll need someone to stay with you for 48 hours. Light duty for 2 weeks. No lifting, no stress. She smiled wryly. I know you event planners. I mean it. Rest. After she left, Emma pulled up a chair. I'm staying at your place. Don't argue. I wasn't going to. The thought of going home to our empty condo made my stomach hurt worse than the incisions. Where is he? I asked. Emma checked her phone. She'd installed a location tracker app on Marcus's phone last Christmas after he'd gotten lost driving to her place. Still at Skyline Lounge. It was 12:47 a.m. The bar closed at 1. Something cold settled in my chest. Pull up his location history, I heard myself say. Emma's fingers flew. Her face went still. What? She turned the phone toward me. Marcus's location history showed he'd been at Skyline since 4:30 p.m. The gala started at 6. I texted him about the pain at 7:15. The ambulance came at 7:40. He'd been there for 8 hours. And according to his credit card, Emma had access to our joint account. He'd spent $340 on dinner and drinks. For 2 people. I'd been intubated on an operating table while my husband dropped $340 on wine I knew he was sharing with Jessica. I'm getting you a lawyer, Emma said. You're a lawyer. A different kind. Trust me. I did. The next morning, Marcus finally appeared. He looked rumpled, sheepish, carrying gas station flowers. Baby, I'm so sorry. I didn't realize it was serious. You said your stomach hurt. You get indigestion all the time. Emma stepped between us. Get out. This is my wife, your wife who almost died while you were on your 8th hour of drinks with your coworker. Emma's voice could cut glass. Sarah needs rest. You need to leave. Sarah? He tried to look around Emma. Come on. Tell her I can stay. The morphine was wearing off. Everything hurt. But my mind was clear. I think you should go, Marcus. His face crumpled. Are you serious right now? You weren't serious last night when I needed you. So yes. He left. The flowers stayed on the chair. They were carnations. I'm allergic to carnations. He'd forgotten. Emma drove me home Saturday afternoon. My condo felt different, smaller. The walls were the same soft gray we'd painted together. But the photos on the mantle, our wedding, vacation in Maui, his company Christmas party, looked like strangers. What do you need? Emma asked. The truth. She understood. While I dozed on the couch, Emma worked. She was a forensic divorce attorney for a reason. She knew where bodies were buried. By Sunday morning, she had a folder. You're not going to like this. Venmo history. Marcus had paid for Jessica's yoga classes, her gym membership, her car insurance. The transactions were labeled loan, but there were 37 of them over 3 months, totaling $4,200. Our savings account had dropped by exactly $4,200. Restaurant receipts from his email: Tuesday lunches at Bella's, Thursday dinners at the Oak Room, Sunday brunches at Greenhouse Cafe. All times I thought he was at the gym or meeting clients. And photos. Emma had checked his Google Photos backup. We had a shared family account. He'd forgotten to turn off auto-upload. Jessica's birthday dinner. His arm around her waist. Hiking at Red Rock Canyon. Her hand in his. A sunset at Lake Mead. Her head on his shoulder. The last photo was from Friday night. 7:52 p.m. While I was being wheeled into surgery. Marcus and Jessica at Skyline, clinking champagne glasses. Her promotion, apparently, was to senior account manager. At his company, he'd recommended her for the position. I can have divorce papers ready by Tuesday, Emma said quietly. I looked at the photos. At my husband's face, relaxed and happy in a way I hadn't seen in months. At Jessica's smile, triumphant and possessive. Do it. Monday morning, I was supposed to be resting. Instead, I was on my laptop, carefully composing an email. To james.morrison@andersoncorp.com, from sarah.chen@andersoncorp.com. Subject: Gala follow-up and medical leave request. Dear Mr. Morrison, thank you for your kind words about Friday's gala. I'm glad the event met expectations despite my unexpected medical emergency. I'm writing to formally request 2 weeks medical leave following emergency surgery for a ruptured appendix. My doctor has cleared me to return on the 23rd. I want to thank you for your understanding. It meant a great deal to know the event was in capable hands when I had to leave. I also wanted to make you aware of a situation that may require HR attention. My husband, Marcus Chen, is a sales manager at Redwood Consulting. His company was a sponsor of our gala. On Friday evening, while I was in emergency surgery, Marcus was attending a private celebration dinner with his direct report, Jessica Winters, at Skyline Lounge. The celebration was for her promotion to senior account manager, a position I understand Marcus advocated for. I'm providing this information because Redwood Consulting has strict fraternization policies, and the optics of a manager spending company money on extensive personal entertainment with a direct report may be concerning to their leadership. Marcus's corporate card records show $340 in charges that evening. I'm also aware that several board members were present at Skyline and may have observed the situation. I wanted you to hear this context directly rather than through gossip. Thank you again for your support. Best regards, Sarah Chen, Senior Event Coordinator. I hit send before I could second-guess myself. Then I forwarded the same information, with photo attachments, to Marcus's HR department at Redwood Consulting. Their handbook was publicly available online. Section 4.7. Managers are prohibited from dating or pursuing romantic relationships with direct reports. Violations will result in immediate termination. Emma brought lunch. You're supposed to be resting. I am resting. Very restfully sending emails. She read over my shoulder and started laughing. Oh, you're evil. I love it. I'm just providing relevant information to appropriate parties. You're burning his life down. No, I said. I'm documenting his choices. Marcus came home Tuesday evening. I was ready. He'd texted that afternoon, "We need to talk." I'd responded, 6 p.m. He walked in like he owned the place. Technically, he didn't. My name was on the deed. I'd bought the condo before we married with my inheritance from Grandma Chen. Sarah, this is ridiculous. I made a mistake. You made several. Sit. He sat. I slid the folder across the coffee table. That's $4,200 you spent on Jessica. From our savings account. The account we were using for the down payment on a house. His face went white. These are photos from your Google account of you and Jessica on dates. Dates during work hours, evenings, and weekends when you told me you were busy. It's not what it looks like. And this, I slid a final paper across, is a copy of Redwood Consulting's fraternization policy, which you violated extensively. I sent documentation to your HR department yesterday. He stood up. You did what? I provided them with factual information about their employees' conduct. Sarah, I could lose my job. Yes, I said calmly. You could. Over a misunderstanding? Jessica and I are friends. You're blowing this out of proportion because you're upset I couldn't make it to the hospital. You were there for 8 hours, Marcus. 8. You spent $340 on dinner and champagne while I was in surgery. You posted photos clinking glasses at 7:52 p.m. I was being intubated at 7:52. I didn't know it was that serious. I texted you from the ambulance. Silence. You chose her, I said. That's fine. That's your choice. But choices have consequences. I choose you. I love you. Jessica is just. Just what? Your work wife? Your emotional support divorcee? Your protege you're spending $4,000 on? His phone buzzed. He looked at it and went gray. What? I asked. They want me in HR tomorrow morning. Interesting timing. He looked at me like he'd never seen me before. You really did it. You reported me. I reported the facts. What they do with them is their choice. This is insane. I made one mistake. You made months of mistakes. I'm just the only one who's documenting them. He grabbed his jacket. I can't believe you're doing this. I can't believe you left me alone in an emergency room while you celebrated another woman's career with my money. He slammed the door. I sat very still, waiting for the tears. They didn't come. Wednesday, Emma brought bagels and news. Marcus is suspended pending investigation. How did you? Jessica posted on Facebook. She's big on social media oversharing. Emma showed me her phone. Jessica's post. From 30 minutes ago. When you realize some people are just toxic and will sabotage anyone's happiness. Stay strong. We know the truth. The comments were interesting. Several of Marcus's coworkers had chimed in. Apparently, they'd noticed the mentorship. Apparently, whispers had been circulating. Apparently, HR had been building a file. My email had just been the final straw. There's more, Emma said. She pulled up another screenshot. Marcus's boss had commented. Disappointed doesn't begin to cover it. We had higher expectations. Ouch, I said. It gets better. Your CEO called me this morning. I froze. What? James Morrison. He wanted to make sure you were recovering. And he wanted you to know that several board members did, in fact, see Marcus at Skyline that night. With Jessica. They found it distasteful. Oh. They're pulling Redwood Consulting's sponsorship for next year's gala. Conflict of interest, given the circumstances. I started laughing. I couldn't help it. What? Emma asked. Marcus spent 3 years building that sponsorship relationship. He bragged about it constantly. It was going to make him VP. Not anymore. Thursday morning the divorce papers were delivered. Marcus called 17 times. I answered on the 18th. Sarah, please. We can work through this. No, we can't. I made a mistake, but Jessica means nothing. That's worse, Marcus. You threw away our marriage for someone who means nothing. That's not what I'm done. Sign the papers. The condo is mine, my name, my down payment. You can have your car and your personal accounts. I'm keeping the savings account as reimbursement for the $4,200 you spent on Jessica. That's not fair. Neither is abandoning your wife during a medical emergency. Sign the papers. I hung up. Emma hugged me. Proud of you. I'm just tired. That's normal. You're still healing. Physically, yes. Emotionally, I wasn't sure. Friday afternoon, Marcus's world collapsed completely. Emma called. Turn on the news. Channel 8. I did. The anchor was discussing inappropriate workplace relationships at Redwood Consulting. Apparently, Jessica's ex-husband had filed a complaint alleging that Marcus had interfered in their marriage. Jessica's ex was a lawyer, a very angry lawyer with documentation, text messages, photos, hotel receipts. Marcus and Jessica had been involved for 6 months, not 3. The affair had started before Jessica's divorce. Marcus had been paying for her apartment. My hands went numb. Sarah? Emma's voice on the phone. You still there? He was. The whole time? Yeah. I'm sorry. I wasn't sad. I was furious. I called Marcus. He answered on the first ring. Sarah, that news story is exaggerated. 6 months? Silence. You were sleeping with her for 6 months while I planned that gala? While I worked 70-hour weeks? While I came home exhausted and you said you were too tired for date nights? It's complicated. No, it's simple. You're a cheater and a liar. Sign the papers by Monday or I'm adding adultery to the filing and requesting alimony. You can't prove. Jessica's ex-husband apparently can. I'm sure he'd be happy to share evidence. I hung up. Saturday, I slept for 14 hours. Sunday, Emma brought mimosas. You're not supposed to drink on pain meds. I'm off the heavy stuff. Just ibuprofen now. We toasted on my balcony, watching the sunset. You know what's funny? I said. I'm not even heartbroken. Shock, probably. No. I'm just relieved. I don't have to pretend anymore. Pretend what? That I didn't notice. That I wasn't lonely. That our marriage wasn't already over. I sipped my mimosa. He did me a favor, really. By not showing up. How? He made the choice so obvious even I couldn't ignore it. Emma clinked her glass against mine. 2 obvious choices. And their consequences. Monday, Marcus signed the papers. His lawyer delivered them to Emma's office with a note. Client wishes to settle quickly and privately. Tuesday, Redwood Consulting made an announcement. Marcus Chen had resigned to pursue other opportunities. Jessica Winters was no longer with the company. Wednesday, my CEO called me directly. Sarah, how are you feeling? Much better, thank you. Good. I wanted to discuss something. The board was very impressed with your dedication during the gala. We'd like to promote you to Director of Special Events. It comes with a significant raise and your own team. I sat down. Thank you. You've earned it. Take the rest of this week to recover, and we'll discuss details on Monday. I called Emma, screaming. She screamed back. Thursday, I went for a walk. First time outside in 10 days. The October air was crisp, the leaves turning gold. My phone buzzed. Marcus, congratulations on your promotion. You deserve it. I didn't respond. Another text. Jessica and I broke up. She said she needed space. I think she was just using me. I blocked his number. Friday, 2 weeks after my appendix ruptured and my marriage ended, I had friends over. Keiko brought sushi. Emma brought wine. My college roommate Maya flew in from Seattle. My work friend Derek brought a karaoke machine. We ate. We drank. We sang. Around midnight, Maya asked, "Are you okay?" Really? I looked around my living room. My space. My furniture. My rules. No more walking on eggshells. No more wondering where Marcus was. No more comparing myself to Jessica or whoever came next. I'm better than okay, I said. I'm free. Keiko raised her glass. To Sarah, who survived emergency surgery and a collapsing marriage in the same weekend. To Sarah, they echoed. And to knowing your worth, I added. 3 months later, I was in my new office corner view, big windows when Emma called. You'll never guess who just filed for bankruptcy. Who? Marcus. Turns out Jessica's divorce lawyer went after him for alienation of affection. He settled for $50,000, plus legal fees, plus the job market isn't kind to fired sales managers with scandal attached. I should have felt victorious. Instead, I just felt nothing. That's unfortunate, I said. That's all? Sarah, he's broke and unemployed and living with his mom. And I'm a director with a team I love and a life I built myself. We're not playing the same game anymore, Em. Damn. You've grown. I've healed. 6 months after that, I was at a coffee shop when I saw Marcus. He looked smaller somehow. Tired. He saw me. Hesitated. Walked over. Sarah. Marcus. You look good. Thank you. Awkward pause. I'm sorry, he said. For everything. I was an idiot. Yes, you were. Do you think? Could we maybe talk sometime? I looked at him. Really looked. And saw a stranger. I don't think so. I've moved on. To someone else? To myself. I left him standing there. Outside, the sun was bright. The city was alive. My phone buzzed my team, asking about details for next month's charity gala. I smiled. Life was good. I was alone. And I was happy. The architecture of my new life was simple. I showed up for myself the way I'd once shown up for everyone else. I set boundaries. I chose people who chose me back. And when crisis came, because it always does, I knew exactly who would be there. Not the person who promised to be. The person who actually showed up. That's the only measure that matters.